come to Statesboro, Georgia, play Georgia Southern, and you always know what it's going to be about. You know, it doesn't matter about records. This is a good place to play. I love coming down here. I love playing here at this stadium. I love playing that team, Georgia Southern, right across the field from us. And you know, we were really fortunate because they, you know, in the first half we weren't moving the ball effectively there offensively, and you know, our defense was playing lights out. They had some yardage, but they only had 7 points, so we were within striking distance. And you know, we came into halftime. We didn't bellyache and complain. It was just, hey, let's go out there and do what we do and get offensively on track, and then defensively continue doing what they were doing. And they did a nice job all night. I thought everything from our special teams to our offense to our defense, it was a great team win. Very proud of them. You know, those two drives right there at the end, us taking it down, I think with a minute 38 or 36 to score, to take the lead, and then us holding them. You know, we'd have liked to held them a lot earlier in that drive, but to see it come down with 2 seconds to go against your rival or our rival, you know, it's just great to see. I'm really proud of our football team. I just, you know, I love coaching football, and I love what this game's about. And that game right there was one of the great ones.
At this time, we'll take questions from members of the media. As a friendly reminder, if you can keep yourself on mute until asking your question, we would greatly appreciate it. Go ahead with questions.
And
for
please
Coach.
Speak up, because I can barely hear you.
Shawn, I think I know the answer to this question. You hear me?
Yes.
I think I know the answer to this question, but when you got the ball back with a minute 38, was there any chance you were going to play for overtime?
As soon as we got the ball back, Coach Glenn said, "Hey, what you want to do?" I was like, what do you mean what I want to do? Minute 38, I think, is a long time in this day and age of football. And there was no question. I thought we had the offensive team to go take it down the field and score. So as soon as he asked the question, I was like, we're going to score. You know, we're gonna play for overtime. I mean, you know, we play to win. I'm one of those guys. I just, you know, a couple of years back at Texas State, I left it on the 1 yard line and went to overtime and lost a game. And, you know, I'm not ever tasting that sour again, that taste. So we were ready to go. And our offense, they believed we could go score. That was the great thing about it. Had I not thought they believed in what we were going to do, then no, I wouldn't have. But they're calm. Yeah, 2 timeouts, so it was a no-brainer.
Coach, on that final play, you're still playing pretty base defense, and was that just, you know, you trusted your front seven to get pressure and affect the quarterback and like get a sack like Jashawn did?
He's in front of you right there. You know, I think the play before we ran a twist game, and for whatever reason, I think when we straight rush those guys and push the pocket, you know, that guy's not, I don't think he is. I don't think he's a true passer. So we felt like we did a marvelous job. That defensive front really pushed it up inside. And seconds in my life, I about not watched, but you got to watch in a game like this against our rival, Georgia Southern, and getting that win. It was a marvelous job. And I thought it was a fitting way to end the football game, the way our defense played all night.
How important were those turnovers, especially in the first half? How important were the turnovers, especially in the first half?
Well, I mean, if we hadn't had the ball turned over, I mean, the fourth down stop, the interception, I mean, they did a marvelous job. This game is won and lost on turnovers. We all know that. The team that turns the ball over is the team that's typically going to lose. And they stepped up to the occasion, and time after time, we put them in a tough scenario there in the first half, our defense, and they just continue to rise to the occasion. There was no frustration, you know, and they kept their head on straight and kept playing and playing and playing. And I thought it was a marvelous job, and turnovers is the name of the game.
Coach, it took a while for the offense to get moving. Was it a matter of just waiting for things to click, or was there some schematic adjustment you made in the second half?
Absolutely not. We didn't make a single adjustment in the second half. You know, there in the first half, I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage really well. We would get backed up. We throw a slip screen out, which we were making positive yards on slip screens, and then we would lose 4, and then it'd be 2nd and 14 and have another throw game, and that was incomplete. And so we got it behind the sticks several times in our possessions. And so we felt like we could control the line of scrimmage, run the football, and take control of this game. So we didn't make a single adjustment in the second half. We just came out and we just looked to our players to get this win for us. They got the win. That offensive football team, that defensive football team, and our special teams got the win. They went out there and executed. And when their time was called, they answered over and over again.
Coach, the penalties were low in the game. You didn't turn it over yourself. And so was it a case of just not making any of those cataclysmic mistakes that took you out of the game, and then you stayed in it late enough that you were able to get the win in the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had two penalties. I'm not sure. I don't have the stats, but I remember the holding penalty, which the game, I mean, our left tackle, they called Travis Glover on a holding penalty right there. Travis is 6'6", 330 pounds, and he's blocking a 5'10", 245-pound 4 technique. And I was like, listen, he's not holding him. His arm's as big as that young man right there, and he just engulfed him. And then I think we had a personal foul, which was, you know, it was just foolish there in the first half. But other than that, no turnovers and a couple, minor penalties. I thought the game should have been over if that holding call wouldn't have been called. But you know what? Those officials, they did a really good, nice job. They communicated really well, and we came out here with a win. So it was very positive.
We got time for one more question from Coach, and then we'll bring in Jemias Williams if anybody has one more question.
Coach, congratulations on the win, first of all. And secondly, I'm going to hurry up, not only because it's the last question, but I know you want to find out the score of what we're all watching. There at that last possession, when you guys do get the ball back with a minute and a half, and as a minute and a half is a long time in a game, like you said, what did you tell the guys to get them motivated to get that winning score?
I don't have to say a word to them. I think all they needed to hear was we're going to go score. And that was it. I can assure you one thing. I would have lost our offensive football team if I walked in that huddle and said, hey, we're going to play for overtime. I mean, honestly, I don't know if they would have got back on the bus with me. And I probably wouldn't have as a player if I said I was going to play for overtime. That's all the incentive they need to go get the win. And they did it.